Now I'm going to try and show you guys how to fill out a merged block worksheet. We call it a merged block worksheet because it encompasses the last 14 days of the previous month as well as the entire block month. Notice this is April into May, and the first 2 days of May are actually in the block month of April. So they've already been blocked. So these days we need to fill in the days in which we were working for April. Also, June 1st in this year, 2018, is also in the May block month. So it needs to be taken into consideration for all of our blocking rules as well. So what I like to do is in the first line, of course, the first thing you do is put in your previous month's history. For this month, let's just put in something simple. It really has to be your actual schedule, but I don't have an actual schedule to go on, so I'm just going to make something up here. So I capitalize my X's and I place in, let's say you've got a 3-day Beijing, then you got a couple of days off, and then a 3-day Beijing again. And let's just, for fun, to break up those 4 days on the end off, let's give you an overlap. So now you've got an overlapping pairing that's going to mess with your 4 and 14, and not so much with your 1 and 7, but a little bit. Has to be taken into consideration for sure. So we, first of all, this is for reserve that we are plotting this out. It's not as important for a block because for a block, of course, the same rules don't apply. On a block, you can have single days off, well, 2 of them, and it's just a little bit more flexible on a block. But for and you can waive both blocking rules if you need to. Whereas on reserve, you can't waive both blocking rules. Therefore, you need to know which one it is you need to waive to get the time off that you desire. So, the next thing I like to do is on the first line, keep in mind this is a calendar that's just in a row, okay? Don't be confused too much with all of these lines underneath. We're just dealing with the first line. And of course, like I say, it's the last 14 days of April and then the entire block month in which we're bidding for. So now I would like to put in the days off that I desire. Now, in our earlier tutorials, we were saying that we had our sister's wedding, and that was on the 15th. And that's your highest priority day off that you want. So I would put a 1 there, okay? Then I wanted the time off before it and after it. And then I don't really remember what I put, but I think I put 3, 4, 5. Actually, it would probably go 5, 4, so that those get attached together. And then I went with weekends. So 6, 7. Remember on reserve, you only get 13 days off. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, let's go with 13. You don't have to bid for all of your 13. You just need to bid for the ones that you really care about. But you need to, and you also need to know that the ones that you really care about are indeed a legal pattern of days off and on. Now I see right here there's going to be an issue. You can't have a single day on unless it's the first day of the block month or the last day of the block month. You also cannot have a single day off or less than 2 days off unless it's attached to vacation or is the first day of the block month or the last day of the block month. If you're ever confused with those rules, just email pbs@local4094.ca, or if you're not Vancouver based, then your local base PBS rep, and they can help you with those rules. Ideally, contact your PBS reps before the bids open, and they'll probably get back to you quicker earlier in the month than they will during the 6 days of bidding because they get quite overwhelmed with everybody else bidding asking for bidding assistance. Okay, so again here we need to have our previous month's history plotted in here. And now we know we can't have this single day off. We actually have to either have it off. So I would probably take this day because it's not really high priority, and I would put it there. So I would go off, 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 and now this line here is plotting it out to see if it's a legal pattern. See, this doesn't work here either because you can't have 2 single days on. So let's figure that the 16th isn't really that important. Oh, that's the day after the wedding. Yes, it is. Let's say this one's not. And we'll have 2 days off here instead. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's your 13 days off. And as far as I can see it, it follows the blocking rules in regards to no single days off and no less than 3 working days in a row. Now we need to make sure that you have 4 days off in every 14. Otherwise we need to waive the blocking rules. So we need to start counting where we think there may be a problem. So right here I see that this isn't a problem. First, it's already been awarded, so we don't have to worry about it too much until it comes into play here. So I would start counting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, within those days, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days off, so we're good. And I'm not working any more than 6 in a row without a day off, so that honors the 1 and 7, so I'm good there too. So same here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Again, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days off. I'm good. Same here. I've got this stretch of days off, so I'm good. So now I would count from here. And I'm pretty sure I'm good there too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm good because I've got 5 days off there too. So that's a legal pattern that you can bid for. Now, say for example, so this is helpful now because we know we don't have to waive a blocking rule to get the time off we want, and we're ready for what a legal pattern is. So I'm not going to have too many surprises, considering except for coverage. I mean, if PBS feels that it needs coverage, and I'm working the 15th, then I'm going to be in trouble because that's my sister's wedding. But then it would throw our pattern off as well. So somewhat. So let's say the pattern didn't work. Let's say that you wanted these 2 days over here. So let's think of, let's go with another pattern. 1, 2, 3. And let's say you didn't want these days off. Say you wanted to work here. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, here's your days off that you want. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say you wanted a long stretch here. I think you could probably have up to 9 in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's your 10. Okay, and then you've got the last 3 days of the month off. See, it's really good to have the last days of the month off as well, because that allows you to do VE here. On reserve, when you do VE at the end of the month, it goes on top of your flying. So if you were at 30 hours, so you hadn't been called very much, and you're at 30 hours worth of flying at this point in the month, if you do VE here, it goes on top of your 75. So it's bonus hours. So even though you didn't fly very much in the month, you probably got a pretty good paycheck. So that's why it's helpful to have the last days of the month off. It's also helpful for the next month. So if you had these last 4 days off here, you wouldn't have to worry about counting your overlapping Form 14 and 1 and 7. That's why if you have a wedding, for example, say you have a wedding on the 15th, you would hopefully have come to PBS the month prior to this. So you would have come in March to talk to us about your April bid so that we can tell you, just make sure you have the last 4 days of April off so that you're not pushed to have certain days on or off in the first part of the block month. But this is working out quite nicely anyways, so not to worry too much. So here we are waiving the 1 and 7 blocking rule. If you notice, you can't work more than 6 in a row without waiving the 1 and 7 blocking rule. And once you waive the 1 and 7, and if you are working 10 in a row, you have to have 4 days off after it and before it. So this isn't going to work. So right here, you've got a Form 14 issue. So if you count from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Well, you need these 2 days off. So there's your problem right there. 1, 2. They have to be off. And then you can't work less than 3 on. So you're going to be working boom, boom. That still works, really. Your wedding's on the 15th, so you're probably okay. So now you've got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You've got your 4 days off in 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. These 2 days have to be off for Form 14, as we counted earlier. So same here, you've got 10 days off. You're going to have the first of the block month off here, unless you waive the first day of the next block month off, which is of course June 2nd, has to be off for Form 14 because you've just worked 10 in a row here. But if you waive Form 14, you can now work that day. So this is just how we plot out our month. Again, we need to know our best case scenario on reserve, so we know how low we're willing to go on our block bid. So for this bid, for example, I might say the 12th to the 16th off. I'll start next bid group and then send PBS to reserve because I know I can get the 12th to the 16th off on reserve. But otherwise, I'd probably prefer to hold a block. If I can hold these days off on my block, then I would prefer to have a block and know where I'm flying for the month. But if I can't, then of course I'm willing to go on reserve because I have to travel to get to this wedding. So now all of the blocking rules apply. They're all good here. You've waived 1 and 7. A different scenario may, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I could have another day off here if I wanted it. There you go. There's another good block with 13 days off with a nice stretch off over the wedding and a couple of days here to do VE. I'm happy. I didn't get my weekend off here, not the whole weekend here, but that's okay because the Stagette's not till the evening here, so we're good. Let's go with waiving Form 14. Now, waiving Form 14, you have to have a day off after every 6 for sure. And with reserve, you can't have a single day off, so generally you have to have 2 days off. Unless it's the first or the last day of the block month or the day before or after vacation. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row. Now you have to have 2 off. Then we can work 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we want that off, don't we? So that works. So we're going to try and maximize our time off here. So 2 there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's your 13 days off for Form 14, waiving Form 14. So you don't have to worry about right here, I think we've got a form. Well, we might not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Actually, you don't even have to waveform 14 here. You've got it's a pretty good pattern, actually. But again, you have to have 2 days off here because you've just worked 6. Same here. You've worked 6, you have to have 2 off. So there's no reason you don't have to waveform 14 here at all. But another scenario, let's take the last block month out of the picture altogether. Or let's just do another scenario here. 1, 2, 3. It's actually not bad because that gives you your end of the month off again. So here, you're working 6 in a row with 2 off, but you're working 6 in a row again. So this is an issue because 6 plus 6 is 12, and that's 13, 14, in which you only have 2 days off. So now you would need to waveform 14. All of this is a little overwhelming, but the longer you stare at it, and believe me, when you need it, you'll figure it out. Because when you want that time off, you know you've got to figure it out. We're here to help you. So, and each base, I know that there's very competent PBS reps in each base to help you with this kind of figuring this kind of thing out. But it's important to know this before you enter your bid so that you don't have false expectations of your award and to ensure that you've waived the correct blocking rule. And there you have it. That's plotting out a merge block worksheet. Remember, each month these merge block worksheets change, and the PBS reps at each base will be emailed. We get these merge block worksheets prepared at the beginning of the month. So if you email your PBS rep, they will have it to share with you. And I know in Vancouver anyways, we're very happy to help you figure it out. A couple of times doing it together and you'll be good to go on your own. I have some people that fill out their merge block worksheet for the entire year at the beginning of the year. Some pretty savvy bidders out there. Anyways, there you have it. Filling out the merge block worksheet.